Hello, my creative friends. This is Heather North from heatherscreativeblessings.com, here with another Christmas card inspired by a very trendy holiday 2.0. I've got some more information on that class at the end of this video, along with the giveaway information. To start out with, I'm going to use some Tim Holtz Distress watercolor paper and some distress inks. The colors I'm using are Tumbled Glass, Weathered Wood, Stormy Sky, Chipped Sapphire, and Iced Spruce. I have a craft sheet covering my grid mat, and what I'm doing is I'm taking various colors of ink, more light than dark, and I'm just smushing them onto that craft sheet. Then I'm going to take my water bottle and I'm just going to spritz the ink with a lot of water to kind of get the colors moving. My next step is to take that watercolor paper. There's a smooth side and a rough side. I've got the rough side down. And I just drop it in the ink and then smush it around to get the colors blending. There's some spots that still have a lot of white, so I'm just going to dip those into the ink again. And you see me tapping off onto my mat. I'm just getting off some of the excess ink and also getting the ink to move. When I have my first layer the way I want it, and the colors start getting muddy, I'm just going to take a baby wipe and wipe off my craft sheet. While the paper is still wet, I'm going to add some more color. First I have Tumbled Glass, and then I'm going to add a little bit of Stormy Sky. And again, wet down my ink, smush it into my paper. The colors are starting to run together, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my heat tool and tap off some of the extra water, but also let water drip as I dry it, and I love the look you get when you do that. Now that my piece is dry, I can come back in with more ink, and this adds an extra layer of depth to the card. It adds texture and dimension without actually adding that dimension, and this is where it starts looking really cool. I just sprayed a little more water to get the color moving. I'm going to dry it off and continue this process until I have a background that I like. I have here the Alpine Christmas from Waltzing Mouse Stamps. It has some great images for the Nordic look. Nordic is really trendy and popular right now. From the snowflake to this wonderful lodge. I decided to use the snowy mountain range. It's important to make sure that your watercolor piece is really dry. So I took my embossing buddy and rubbed it all over there. That will also help prevent the embossing powder from sticking in places where I don't want it. I'm flipping my watercolor piece just to see which side I want to be the top and which side I want to be the bottom. And now I am inking up that stamp with Versamark, and I'm just going to stamp it right down onto my watercolored piece. It's important to get good contact with the stamp to the paper because that paper is a little bit ridgy, it's textured. Now I'm going to take some white embossing powder and just sprinkle it over that Versamark, and then I will heat set it with my heat tool. My sentiment comes from the same Alpine Christmas. It says, "Merry Christmas from our home to yours." You could use really any of the sentiments in this stamp set. They go perfectly. I'm going to ink it up with Versamark ink and just stamp it into the center of my paper and then emboss it with some more white embossing powder. I just trimmed about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch off the top of my piece. I was going to mount it fully onto the card, but then I decided I wanted a little white border at the top and bottom. I'm just going to mount this on a standard card base using some Tombow Mono multi-glue. The card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored it and folded it in half. So the finished front size is 4.25 by 5.5. I turn it upside down and then just hold it for a few seconds to hold that glue in place. You really want a strong adhesive because watercolor paper tends to warp, and you want it to lay flat when you're done with your card. To finish this card up, I have some sweet little frosted sequins embellishments from Stampin' Up. They have some snowflakes and different colors of, different sizes of silver sequins. I thought about putting the silver sequin inside of each of the snowflakes, and then I changed my mind and grabbed some basic rhinestones, and I just added a rhinestone to the center of each snowflake. It just adds a nice little sparkle. And that is it for my Nordic watercolor card, incorporating 2 of the hottest trends this holiday season. I am giving away 1 free class to the very trendy Holiday 2.0. Check out the links below and be sure to leave a comment on my original blog post to be entered to win. Today is the last day. And then come back tomorrow to see if you're one of the winners. And if not, I hope you'll sign up and join us in class. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that I have inspired you and that you are ready to get started on your Christmas cards. If you like this card, be sure to press the like button and subscribe to my channel to see more like it. Thank you. Bye.